You might have had this feeling before. When you walk into a room, you don't just hear what people are saying, you feel the atmosphere. Someone is tense, someone else is sad, and another is pretending to be okay, when they're really not. Everything seems to come at you all at once, and it stays with you. It's as if you're an antenna turned up to full power, picking up every frequency and emotion around you, even the ones others don't seem to notice at all. And if that sounds familiar, you may have wondered if something is wrong with you. Or if you're just too sensitive, in a way that society doesn't quite accept. Before we go any further, there's something very important to clarify. Being highly sensitive is not a disorder, you are not sick, you are not broken, and there is nothing that needs to be fixed. This is a natural trait of your nervous system, a particular way your brain is wired to take in and process the world. About 15 to 20% of the population has this trait. This means you are not alone, you simply belong to a group of people who feel more deeply, notice more details, and as a result, get overwhelmed more easily. When psychologists talk about HSPs, they often mention 3 core pillars. But instead of using dry academic terms, I want to describe them through everyday images. First is how you process information. If other people's brains are like a standard water filter, yours is like a high-precision, ultrafine filter. It filters everything so thoroughly and deeply, that it easily gets clogged, after a coffee date with friends, while others still have the energy to go to another place and keep talking. You just want to go home, turn off your phone, wrap yourself in a blanket, and be in silence. It's not that you don't like them, it's just that your nervous system has processed too much in a very short time. Second is related to emotion and empathy. You don't just feel your own emotions. You often live out the emotions of others. You feel the pain when watching a sad movie. Your heart feels heavy when you see a stranger on the bus looking exhausted, and sometimes, you don't understand why your mood drops, even when nothing happened to you personally. This can feel like a superpower, because it allows you to connect deeply, and understand others with a lot of nuance. But at the same time, it's a burden, because you carry so much emotion that isn't yours to hold. Third is sensitivity to subtle stimuli, things that most people completely ignore. It could be the ticking of a clock in a quiet room, the overwhelming scent of someone's perfume, or a clothing tag scratching against your skin that ruins your whole day. These are nameless pains, difficult to explain to others, without being misunderstood as fussy or weak. But in reality, this is the refinement of your nervous system, or to put it more gently, the exquisite sensitivity of your soul. The problem arises when this trait clashes with the way the modern world operates. We live in a world that prizes speed, productivity, and the ability to handle high pressure and multitask. In that context, highly sensitive people often feel out of sync. It's like being a piece of classical music, written with many delicate layers of sound, but being played in a loud nightclub, where everything is too fast and too harsh. You are not wrong, but the environment wasn't designed for your rhythm. This often leads to many misunderstandings, even from yourself. You might ask, am I just an introvert? Or, is this related to autism? The truth is, these concepts are not the same. About 30% of HSPs are actually extroverts. They still enjoy crowds and connection, but they need much longer recovery times afterward. And while there are overlaps, being an HSP is not a clinical diagnosis. and does not follow the diagnostic criteria for ASD. Understanding this distinction is vital, so that you don't mislabel yourself. If you recognize yourself in these descriptions, the next question is usually, what do I do with this? The goal isn't to become someone else, but to live more breathably with who you are. The first step is self-understanding. It's about meeting yourself, and realizing what kind of seed you are, so you stop trying to plant yourself in soil that doesn't suit you. When you understand that this sensitivity is a part of your structure, not a mistake, much of that self-blame will naturally soften. The next step is reframing. Instead of calling it a weakness, call it what it truly is: deep empathy. When thoughts like, "I'm too sensitive" show up, try to stop and see it as a neutral trait that just hasn't been properly supported in your current environment. This shift in your internal language has a massive impact on your self-esteem and self-compassion. For many HSPs, healing also involves looking back, especially at childhood. Perhaps you were the child labeled as shy or told, "Don't take things so personally." If no one truly understood you then, those experiences might have left deeper marks. Working with a suitable therapist, or simply learning how to gently go back and embrace that sensitive inner child, can be a quiet but powerful process. And finally, it's about finding balance. Not running away from the world, but not forcing yourself to endure it constantly either. Knowing when to step out and connect, and when to retreat into your den to recharge. When you allow yourself to rest without guilt, you aren't becoming weaker, quite the opposite. You are properly caring for your nervous system. If there is one thing I want you to take away from this video, it's this: you were never too much, you are not extra, you are not wrong, and you are not broken. You are simply experiencing the world through a more refined system. And when you start to understand that, so much of the pressure to be someone else will naturally fall away, leaving room for a feeling that is lighter, slower, and truer to yourself. Thank you for spending time with Soul Constellation today. I hope you can begin to find peace within your own sensitivity.